David, the Irish National Stud Farm and Gardens is known as the premier site for the breeding of thoroughbreds, but it's so much more than that, and it's such a family-friendly place too. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Well, yes. I mean, when people come here, it is an all-exclusive package, and as well as getting, especially this time of year, hundreds of mares and foals all around the place, you also have our two gardens, the 100-year-old Japanese garden, which I think every child remembers from their childhood school trips, St Fiacre's garden, which is a lake monastic garden over 4.5 acres, which includes a fairy trail.
So I saw that.
Yeah, where we have these, all these 18 little helpers that come, because we're very busy this time of year, so we need these extra fairies to keep an eye on us.
And then I suppose the highlight at the end is visiting the horses. But you mentioned foaling season. It's a very exciting time for you now.
Yes, I mean, this time of year really is fantastic. We foaled 4 little babies came in last night, so we've up to over 190 at the moment. We had 267 last year, so we're a bit like maternity hospital. People come and use us just to have their foals, and then some of them stick around to visit the stallions, and then some of them literally go home the next day.
The Irish National Stud Farm is over 100 years old, but how did it all begin?
It was actually handed over to the nation. It was before independence, so it became the English National Stud in 1915, bequeathed by rather an eccentric gentleman called Colonel Hall Walker, and he actually bequeathed it to the English nation. And it was 1915, so a lot of the horses might have gone to fight in World War I, so it was a big gift. Of course, he did get rewarded, and he got knighted and became Lord Wavertree.
Very fancy.
After independence, we had neither the time, the money, or the interest in the sport of kings, so this remained the English National Stud right up until the 40s, which was a strange phenomenon. But within the Irish Free State, this was the English National Stud in it. And then eventually, I think the government made a very brave move, because it probably wasn't the most popular thing in the world. But if you look now in 2017, we're a $1 billion industry employing hundreds of thousands of people in this country. And it's great that the government in 1945, once the English cleared out, restocked the farm, and it is still government owned now.
Now, of course, the focus here has to be on the horses. So tell us about some of the thoroughbreds that you have.
Well, primarily, as I mentioned earlier, we have the geldings, which are retired national hunt stallion. But what we're really here to do is breed top-class flat racehorses. We have 8 stallions. Our top one is called Invincible Spirit, and then he visits some of our mares. We own about 40 mares of our own on the farm, and we sell those yearlings just before they go into training next year.
I'm really excited to see some horses. That's why I'm here. Where are they?
Well, we have the stallions. Now, they're a little bit precious. They're out in the paddocks. But the mares and foals love to see people coming, and they're in all the paddocks at the moment. And then, of course, the geldings, if they're close by, they'll put their head over the railing, and you can say hello to them.
Sinead, it really was such a special sight just there to see these new mummies with their babies coming into the paddock for their morning run.
Yeah, these foals that we have here in the paddock, they're just a couple of weeks old, and so you can see they're quite close to mum. They're teaching them everything, and they're doing basically what they were born to do, born to run essentially. And you'll see now come the middle of August, for when our visitors come, you'll see the foals will be in the corner of the paddock all hanging out together, and mums will be in the other corner, hopefully back in foal themselves. So it's like a natural weaning process, and that's where we will separate them then.
David mentioned last night that you welcomed 4 new foals into the world. They're not here though.
No, the 4 new foals are down the foaling unit, but when they've been checked over by the vets, when they're roughly about 48 hours old, they'll be moved up here to Kildare Yard, and you'll see them out in the little nursery paddocks. And then as they get older, then they're grouped. They go out in paddocks by their age group, so we don't have a really old foal running the legs off a really young foal. So that's how it would happen. But you will get to see a foal that's literally 2-3 days old.
So realistically, could any of these foals turn out to be racehorses?
Yeah, potentially all. We could have the next Derby winner here, Oaks winner, who knows? That is the dream. The dream is very much alive. It's alive for every single foal that's here, and it's amazing the amount of top class horses that have been born here.
Fabulous network to have here, and I know that some of the horses are a little bit hungry further down, so can I be of any assistance?
You certainly can. We're going to head down to our living legends, and we're going to give them some carrots.